Science is tracking the pathways that neurons create in the human brain. Explain the relationship between photonic consciousness and the action observed by neurons.
Oh, so we're going to a totally different concept now. We're back to how consciousness interacts with the embodiment of consciousness within a material construct. We have spoke of consciousness being the battery that empowers the body. The body is an electrical network, and consciousness is the vehicle that empowers it. At the moment that consciousness disengages from the body dies and ceases to function. This is all very well understood by your science. However, how consciousness interacts with the body and how consciousness becomes part of the body is not well understood and is still being discovered in your sciences and your medical sciences. And so we have a brain, and your brain, when you are first born, is not fully formed. It is, we're going to try and relate this to computers because this is the closest association we can come up with. But your brain is a computer hard drive that has not been completely formatted when you're born. And your consciousness is connected at the root of your brain. In the very center of your brain, there is the autonomic functions that are going to function no matter what. And when before you're even born, the consciousness is attached there. And of course, you're under a veil of forgetfulness, so consciousness is not going to remember a lot. And anything that you do remember is a bleed through until the veil becomes very thick. So, as this starts, consciousness, the body is born and consciousness begins to spread through your hard drive. It begins to format the hard drive of your brain. This format occurs through energetics. The energy of your consciousness is forming itself and pushing it into the pathways of your brain. And you observe these as neurons that are firing, that are these energies that are going through this brain matter. This is the formatting of your hard drive. And we have spoken in previous sessions where we have said that this hard drive that is your brain is collecting the memories of this lifetime. And you are operating within this veil until we'll talk about that in a minute, how you're breaking through the veil. So as your lifetime progresses, the neurons continue to format this hard drive. These energies of experience are amassing within your brain. And as you age, some of these pathways sometimes become damaged and do not fire as well. So your RAM, your random access memory, or whatever you call that here on Earth, is impaired, and you maybe don't remember as well as you used to. However, when you die, all of this energy, all of these memories, everything that you have amassed within your brain, whether you can remember it or not, it's not lost. You just can't use it in this incarnation. That is all transferred back to your consciousness, your photonic sphere, rotating sphere of consciousness. And you leave and you go back to the etheric so that you can reprocess, which is what you would consider defragmentation. So you're going to defragment your consciousness hard drive now that you have all of these new experiences and all of this new energy inserted back into it. And you go into the etheric so that you can recover and reprocess, defragment, and come back and do it again, if that is your pathway. Or you can just hang out there for a while if you want. Or if you're of a high enough consciousness, you can decide what else you want to do. So, we consider that at the center of your brain is where this interface is between your consciousness and your material body and your material memories. The neurons are the photonic firings that are coming in and creating these pathways to format your hard drive for this memory of this lifetime. And when that is done, like a thumb drive, like we previously spoke, will be reinserted into your computer. The memories will be reinserted into your consciousness that is beyond this material sphere, You go through your defragmentation process, you integrate, you understand all of your lessons, and you move on to whatever's next. Now, you are inside your material body right now. You are a mature adult. You have been seeking higher pathways of knowledge. You are meditating. Let's talk about meditation for just a minute. When your eyes are open and you're walking around on this planet, you're engaged with your thumb drive. And you are the thumb drive. This is you under the veil of forgetfulness. What you are and who you think you are have been programmed by the pathways of your neurons that have been formatting your hard drive. When you go into meditation, you are purposely trying to close down your thumb drive to reach the hard drive of your consciousness, which is the larger portion of yourself beyond the veil, beyond the thumb drive. And as you do this, as you consciously seek this, it will become available to you because you are effectively taking a cord and plugging your thumb drive into that cord and then reaching that cord up to your computer and plugging it into your computer so you can access information that is beyond what you currently have in your memories. This is how you move beyond the veil. And there are many different ways that we could provide analogies to tell you that you can move beyond the veil. There's a different way in the book. There's actually exercises in the book that tell you how to do this. And people are responding, saying that these are all very beneficial. Meditation is how you find your way from the memories that you have contained within your embodiment to the memories that you have contained within your consciousness. Because at the point that you shut down your physical thinking and you allow a higher part of yourself to come through, this is when you start looking and you start finding that there is more to you than the brain that is the memories that you contain. Did we answer that question? Because we went a long way.
I think so. There is a follow-up question you've already answered, but I'll say it anyway. How are the memories created in this neuron pathways returned to the consciousness at the end of the incarnation?
Well, this is basically what we said. You have to understand that we're talking about consciousness, which is not observable with any of your devices at this time. Everyone understands, or most people do, that there is consciousness beyond just being this person in the body. You dream at night, memories from things that can't possibly be true or you have known come to you. You know that there's more to you than just this lifetime. So consciousness exists even though it can't be observed. The memories that are in your mind, a doctor opens up a cadaver and starts slicing pieces of brain. They see this gray matter that's kept alive through oxygenation of blood and flow and heartbeats. And this is the material embodiment of consciousness within a body so that it can interact with the material spheres. And as you become more advanced, you'll be able to start creating energetic bodies, engineered bodies where the energetics of consciousness can connect to it, but that you're not there yet. But ascended consciousnesses do this so that they can interact with the material realms. So for right now, you see this gray matter that, when it's alive, has a lot going on in it. There's neurons, there's energy, there's movement, there's the electricity of consciousness is empowering the brain, and the autonomic functions that power the body. And as soon as the consciousness disconnects, that all of the energy that occurs in this brain ceases. It's done. There's some random firing that occurs for a short period of time after the consciousness is left, and it's residual energy. Let's consider. We're trying to make a correlation here. A capacitor that the electricity charges it up, and there's capacitance within this capacitor based on the positives and the negatives that are on the plates of this thing, and it's just stored energy, It's not intelligent energy. It's just stored energy, and it slowly is going to lose its capacitance as the energies slowly dissipate and drained. This is what occurs in the brain shortly after death. Consciousness is gone. The memories are gone. They're taken away. And the brain slowly, the energy that's slowly in there, the neurons firing and that sort of, they're just random actions that slowly cease because the twitching and that sort of thing that happens in a body after death. It's just the energy dissipating. So when the consciousness is leaving the body, it looks like it's taking a little capsule with it. The consciousness is closing down upon itself into this little white, looks like a nugget, and the nugget leaves, and the nugget is in the center of the consciousness, at the seat of consciousness. There's this little white nugget, and then the rest of the consciousness is outside. And you have to go up into the etheric, where the veil of forgetfulness is removed, where this nugget of lifetime experience is then, so the veil is opened. It's like a zip drive. There you go. And the veil of consciousness is removed, and the information is unpacked from this nugget, and it is moved within the consciousness where it needs to be to help you balance. So if you have come into this lifetime to seek balance, you were, and we hate to keep using these terrible analogies, but we do it because the sharp contrast, that you were a pauper living in the garbage can, and in this lifetime you were insanely wealthy, then these two experiences offset each other. And as this information is unpacked and placed within your consciousness, it's placed as we would do within a galactic. We're talking about offsetting energy, and we're talking about balance, and these are all repeating constructs that go all the way down to the very smallest photon of consciousness. These are unpacked and placed within your consciousness to help balance you, so that your array can spin faster and you can hold more energy, and that you can continue along your path of ascension, because balance is what allows rotation to increase in speed. And we spoke about this with moment of inertia, and as energy waves come through, and how they start to push you and move you towards an accelerating rotation. And you feel that as an energy wave. Wow, I felt that. This is the same thing that occurs after a lifetime. You get to the other side, the information is unpacked, and it's placed within your consciousness, and you're like, if you followed your path correctly and you didn't get sidetracked, you have more balance, and you can feel it almost. Oh, that feels really good. I'm liking that. Yeah, okay. What's next? And then you move on. Next question.